My biological daughter gave me a plaque one Christmas, and it said, "With my life, I could be on all of Oprah's shows."
Well, I think I had envisioned the white picket fence, the happily ever after, the cohesive family.
You know, this child's just going to be grateful, eternally grateful, and have all this love, and thanks, Mom and Dad. And no, that's not the case.
A therapist once told me that she didn't find new buttons, she just found the ones that were there. She knows exactly where they are, and when fear takes over, she just pushes really, really hard.
He talks back, and he calls you names, and he does things that causes your defenses to go up, and you think, well, I just don't want to be close to him. I'm not going to get hurt.
I think our worst moments have been when maybe it is 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm calling Ira frustrated and trying to get a clear head because we have done probably several 45-minute tantrums, and we're talking chairs would fly and ugly things were said.
Then you had the people who said, well, they're adopted. If they're that, if they're causing that much trouble, give them back. Not thinking that this is my child.
I think the other thing I had a misconception about was that love in a stable environment was going to cure any ills.
He struggles from anxiety and PTSD. And so for the first probably 7 months, there was a lot of behaviors that were very much based on fear. Hiding under his bed, hiding in his closet, hiding under the bathroom sink, in the cabinets.
We've had some instances with her that where we've actually had to call the police.
We thought we could tell them that stealing wasn't a good idea. You're not really supposed to do that. And they would say, oh, okay, we get it, and stop. And we had no idea of the depth inside of their hearts, of the loneliness and the places that felt very empty that they were filling, and the need that they had to continue that behavior, to fill something inside themselves.
I love him so much, and for him not to take in our love and to be like this stone wall that just has these walls built up around his heart. And he's hurt us, emotionally. He's hurt the whole, the siblings, and the siblings see what he's doing to us, tearing down our family.
And you just have to continue to, I guess, believe a different reality. In my mind, I refuse to believe that he doesn't love us.
It's lots of difficulties. It's a son that we're estranged from, because, he took all that anger that he was physically and sexually abused and put that on us.
A lot of anger, a lot of fighting, a lot of chaos, a lot of, you're not my family, but it was mostly the anger, and it was explosive.
Well, our 16-year-old daughter being pregnant, that was a pretty rough one for me. She was supposed to arrive in the family and learn all of our values, and that wasn't going to happen. And when it did, we were really devastated. It made us question our own effectiveness as parents.
The tough time for me in my journey is not being able to go to my family. They love my kids. But everyone doesn't understand. I'm sorry.
Every day, probably every day since he's been here, has been a challenge with him.
I remember going to church and, everybody says, how are you? How are you? How are you? And I said, I'm about to break. I'm fragile. I have nothing left. And I'm trying so hard. And then you get up the next morning because you love your kids. And you trust God that there's going to be an answer. But they were dark, dark